Is there any time that you feel ki, okay, I was doing good, I was working, I was earning money? Do you like remember those days?
Of course, I do. Especially when when you have when I have tight deadlines to submit my assignments. It's not like I don't like my assignments. I love my assignments.
Was
We
it a
did.
lie, Mansi?
No, it was not. I'm not lying.
Welcome to the first episode of Beyond the Book, a podcast where we uncover the most wonderful stories hidden in your backpack. Hi, I'm Veer, and today we are diving into the world of news, media, and journalism. And joining me today is Miss Mansi. She is somebody whose meditation room is a theater, and you know what? She really loves to watch news. Am I wrong, Mansi?
Absolutely not. Thank you for that lovely introduction. And talking about that news thing, I think that is in my genes. I have got it from my dad.
Oh, thank you so much, Uncle. uh, well, before we get like any deeper into the conversation, I'd like to ask you: can you give me an overview about your background? Though I know some part of it, but I'd still like to get like understanding about you, Mansi.
Okay, so I come from Gujarati family. I have been born. I was born in Gujarat, but I have brought up in Mumbai. I have lived like my whole life in Mumbai itself, and I come from. So I did my undergraduate in mass communication from Mumbai University itself, and after that, I was during my course. It was part of our course. We had this brief understanding of what is advertising, what is journalism, and journalism was something that attracted me very much. Like reading, like how I mentioned, like it is kind of a ritual of my dad sitting on a dinner table, and we sit together and we watch the news. We both like to watch news, so it is there. So journalism was something that attracted me a lot, so I thought, okay, fine, I'll pursue journalism. So in my last year, I as a specialization, I did journalism, and after that I worked with couple of journalists, and then I thought, let's explore the corporate world also. So that was the time when I started working with one MNC in Mumbai itself.
That's lovely, Mansi. Since I mentioned your transition from education to corporate world and then back to education. So, as a person, how do you handle such things? Because see, as far as I understand, transition are hard. Ticket transitions are hard. So, how do you like grasp that world? Ki, okay, I'm doing this, and now I'll be doing this. So, how do you like put yourself there?
See, I don't. I think I can talk in general here. So, like, not in general. Let's just talk about me. I am a kind of a person who gets bored very easily when if it with some kind of monotony. So I was working and it was like, okay, fine. I'm waking up every day. I'm going to my work. I like 10 to 7. I used to do my shift. Then after coming back home, I used to just have dinner and just go to sleep. And again, it was on loop. Whereas when I was in my undergrad, when I was studying, I was exploring so many different things. Let it be college events, college fest, meeting new people. So that I missed a lot. Then it becomes monotonous, right? Yeah, you're doing same thing again and again, again and again, and you don't. After a certain point of time, you start questioning yourself: why am I doing this? What is it even worth it that I'm not living my life? I am earning. I'm earning really very good, but is it all worth it? Because I'm not getting time for myself. So that transition, there has to be a certain point of time in your life where you have to do transitions. It might be hard. It can be hard. I agree that it can be very hard for oneself, but sometimes it is very important to have that transition.
Absolutely. Since you have mentioned about your corporate career and now you're studying, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, like I'm finishing it now.
Yeah. So, like, can you tell me about the contrast you face? Like, one part you have that corporate mindset, ki, okay, I'll be doing this, I'll be completing my task, and I'll be going home. But education is relatively different than that. You have
Yes.
so many things on your plate. You have
Yes.
multi genres of education. So, how do you balance that contrast?
See, working in corporate field, you get, you have that sense of responsibility. Like certain task is assigned to me by end of the day or by tomorrow or by end of the week. I have to finish it and I have to give it to, my respective supervisors or team leader. And you have assignments in education field also, yeah, right? You have to submit assignments, and you have like, and for specifically for people like us, we have a hell lot of assignments. But that is the thing, no, you research about different things, you read about different things, which in corporate world you cannot. I mean, you can read, but again, like how I mentioned about monotony, it will be same, okay, it will be in circles, it will be same thing. So that is the difference between educational field. You get to explore a lot rather than in the uh, corporate field.
Oh, that's lovely, Mansi. Uh, from this contrast also only, I'd like to ask you one thing. You have given so much time in your education. You have done your undergrad. Now you are pursuing your masters. Is there any time that you feel ki, okay, I was doing good, I was working, I was earning money? Do you like remember those days?
Of course, I do, especially when when you have when I have tight deadlines to submit my assignments. It's not like I don't like my assignments. I love my assignments, but there is certain time limits to that also. You have to
Was
specific
it a
date.
lie, Mansi?
No, it was not. I'm not lying. So yeah, but I feel a lot. Okay, fine. Why did I do this? I had a good job. I had I had my family with me. Now I stay alone. My family is back in Mumbai. So I always think that why did I do it? But then I realized, okay, fine. It is something for good only. It is for my personal growth. It is for me something to do good in my life.
From my understanding from this conversation, I got one very nice question in my brain. You have been a creative person for like around 3-4 years now,
Yeah.
but you are also a corporate person. So, what is that difference between creative or corporate? I can put it like creative versus corporate. So there must be some similarities and differences at the same time. So can we discuss about it? Like what are the similarities and the differences?
Yeah, I think when you say corporate and creative, you feel that there are two different terminologies. But for you being a creative person, for you being a creative writer, you have to have that sense of ability, sense of that responsibility, like how you will bring your creativity in your corporate world. There is a thin line between that also. So that you have to break that thin line, and you have to, when I was, well, like I mentioned, when I was working also, it was not like I was not creatively thinking at that moment, but in corporate you have certain limitations, there are certain restrictions that you have to follow. If you are working in a company, you have certain guidelines that you have to follow, that apart from this you cannot give something else, it has to be in certain guidelines. Whereas in creative field you have full liberty, you can think, you can do whatever you want, as long as it is coming under the work you are doing, like not doing something absurd and calling creativity. So yeah, I think, yeah.
That's a really nice answer, to be honest. Moving forward, I'd like to ask you. You must be knowing about current media scenarios, right? Since you come from a creative journalism background, recently I'd say like 10 years ago, media has such rigidity in the democracy. It was like, okay, it's a fourth pillar. It's like very strong in terms of like it authority. But right now I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, that people has lost their trust. Like they are losing their trust day by day from the ongoing media scenarios. So what's your take on that?
See, I absolutely agree with you what you said, that people are losing their trust in the media. Like, having said that, the media is the fourth pillar of our democracy. We live in a democratic country, but nowadays I feel they are mostly towards dramatizing they just want to dramatize the news rather than giving the actual news. And all the TRPs, obviously it's there. All they want is TRP nowadays. Why this news channel is going up, why we are not going up. So that is there. So people have started to think, okay, the news they are giving, is it really correct, or is it accurate, rather than and they should focus on, rather than more dramatizing that news, and giving on actual news. What is the news? I would like to mention about Doordarshan. Okay, now also if you see, you'll have that subtleness in that news also, okay, like how it was before, but compared to our modern news channels. So I think they need to think about that.
Yeah, surely. Coming from the same question, like news and media, I'd also like to know your understanding about Twitter, Threads, these new social media applications that are also like very heavily used in terms
Yes.
of promoting any agenda or spreading news or awareness. So what's
Yeah.
your take on that? Like, is it good or is it bad? Is it hindering the media progression or is it good for the media progression?
See, to a certain level, Threads is actually really very new concept.
Yeah.
Not long back. Twitter is a very old platform, but I feel that Twitter is mostly now used to just spread hatred and spread rumors and to have that strong hatred towards one particular community or one particular. So if I will let's say will I want to bring about this Sushant Singh Rajput case. They made it before having the judgment of actual court, they started having judgment on Twitter itself. Okay, no, this person is the guilty, this she is guilty, and like that people agree, so people consume the news like that. So if you are giving false news, if you are giving before giving the judgment, if you are giving a judgment, people will accept it. Okay, oh fine. If you put the narrations like that in front of audience, they will grasp it like that, and they will know that, oh no, okay, they are saying that it has to be correct, it is correct, before the court gives the judgment.
So is it okay for me to say that the audience on these platforms are relatively naive and they consume whatever the bigger people feed them?
No, nothing like that. Audience is very smart actually. If you do one mistake, they will catch it like that. So audience is smart. It is not naive. It is how the news is portrayed in front of them. Okay, if I'm putting a dramatic music, if I'm dramatically presenting it, audience will consume it. It is on visuals also. So the audience will consume it, and they will start thinking, and they will have this perception in their mind. They will frame that perception in that mind.
Okay. So is it okay for me to say that presentation of that news is directly proportional to the penetration of the news in your head?
Yes, oh, absolutely. So like how I also, so like how I do is I rely more on newspapers rather than watching actual news
Okay.
because I feel it is not news. It's like an entertainment channel now. They are just doing it for entertainment rather than news. So if I'm seeing some news in the TV or some news channel, I would still rely on newspapers now. Still till now, I rely on newspapers. I will read it in newspaper. Then I will think, okay, maybe it is correct. So yeah, that is how it is.
Newspaper is not only for book covers. One more thing, Mansi, I'd like to ask you. Okay, news and everything is fine, but I'd like to ask how freedom and news are correlated. There have been previous incidences like national emergency at the time of Indira Gandhi.
Yeah, from 1975 to 77.
Yeah. So during that emergency, as far as I know, media had no rights.
Yes.
They cannot publish anything, they cannot promote any news, any agendas. So what's your take on that? Like, was it good to make sure that media is not spreading any wrong news or any certain news? Or is it fine for them? Okay, let's take their freedom.
See, I wouldn't say that it was completely okay for the emergency thing, but I'm no one to comment on emergency. It was long time back, but now compared that time to now, media has like lot of freedom nowadays. Like how I mentioned about Twitter also. You saw one incident, you just putting a picture and not even picture, you just tweeting it, and if it's like controversial, it will spread like a fire. It will spread like a fire in jungle. So wrong media presentation is also there. So that is where the media is lagging also, I would like to say, because picturization of accurate news is what their job is, not to dramatize the news.
So you basically mean that they are somewhat misusing that freedom nowadays?
To a certain extent, yes. Yes.
All right, all right. Okay, so we have spoken enough regarding news, media, journalism, but I'd like to come back to you, Mansi. Like, you come from a creative corporate journalism background. What next?
Yeah, I'm exploring actually. Let's see how it goes. I have to finish my dissertation right now. So I have to focus on that for now. And then let's see, we'll see, let's explore what else is there for me.
And do you think there will be any other emergency in the coming years to hinder or to control media?
I hope not. But at a certain level, I hope so. because it's somewhat needed.
That's a very clever answer.
I don't want to get into legal issues.
Yeah, politically correct. All right, so this is the time we'll wind up, Mansi. It was nice talking to you. It was a nice conversation, and I really hope that our audience would also like. So I'll say, guys, stay tuned, subscribe to us, and yeah, we are coming up with more content like this. Yeah, thank you.